What's up, guys? So, this morning I saw a clip from Caltork. Yeah, everybody knows who he is. He's amazing. He invents all these cool off-meta builds, and he's a really big fan of Thorn builds. I saw a clip from him this morning on YouTube. He's building Shatter with Thorn. He made it originally on Invoker, and then he applied it to his Titan show clip. He's gonna make a build guide of it soon. It looked really cool. I had no idea that Shatter works that way, the chain of explosion. Because I've seen Shatter builds before. It looks like they're all like it's like one tap and the whole screen blow up. But in this case, it explodes, it expands, just like Poison or, you know, those kind of builds. So I was thinking, yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to try it out myself, but I didn't want to wait for his build to come out. So I took a shot at myself. And I applied to my Titan, of course. Yeah, Titan just makes everything better. You know, the biggest area of effect and more attack. Yeah, why not? So I took a little digging, and I don't really like using Thorn to proc this skill. Because I know Kaltorak is a big fan of Thorn, but not me. Because it's just too passive to me. I don't like the idea of waiting to get hit and then you attack back, you know. That type of Avengers thing is just not my thing. Because the character we're playing is not focusing on building a lot of defense. If you wait for to be attacked first, it puts you in danger. It doesn't matter what you, what kind of, shield or evasion you have, because you never know if what the next hit is going to be. Multiple hits, a super big one. You just kind of unlucky. I don't like the feeling of that. I like, I want to be the one who control the skill to prop whenever I want to. So I figured, yeah, now we have all these amazing gears like Deepest Tower, and the Titan's hulking form making a lot of attack damage. Maybe we can just, if I can just pock the Shattering Palm by one hit, then why not? And I made it work. It's exactly what it's exactly as you see in the video right now. It works really well. I'll show the planner and you'll see what I socket in there. Basically, you just one hit or sometimes two, and you trigger the explosion whenever you want. You don't need to invest anything into Thorn. And another good part about it is this skill passive points that you originally wanted to invest on Thorns. Now you can put it in other stuff. For me, basically, it's all area effect or more health pool. And if I build it on Thorn like he's doing right now, I don't think it can do much for bossing or Pinnacle content. Maybe map bossing is okay, but not Pinnacle content. Pinnacle content, you kind of need all those passive nodes to be in the right place. So I didn't think I was going to do it. I didn't think I was able to do it, but I took a shot anyways. You'll see in the very end of the video that I managed to take down T4 Xesht. And remember, I quickly pulled this all together in a couple hours. It's not even the best version of it yet. And there is nothing really expensive in this build. Everything is cheap. You know, the uniques we're using, like Deepest Tower, the quarterstaff. You know, I forgot what the quarterstaff's name is. You'll see it later in the video. It's a unique staff that gives you a ton of crit chance and that refunds your energy back. That's the one I use for mapping, because it doesn't really matter what weapon you use, right? However, what's interesting is the weapon's skill level and element attack. I mean, the runes, they still apply to Shatter Palm even though it's not using any weapon. So I have the quarterstaff with 3 sockets socketed in elemental. See, the elemental damage for attacks, and the quarterstaff has 4 levels for elemental skills, which will apply to the palm. Of course, you can use a quarterstaff, a rare one with +7 melee skills that will also boost up the skill level for Shattering Palm, if you can afford it, that is. Of course, the result would be better, but if you want to do it budget friendly, you go like this. Everything is cheap. For bossing, this quarterstaff is technically enough too, but if you want to do Pinnacle boss, you kind of need a good quarterstaff with higher attack and +7 melee skills. So we're now on the second mapping, which includes a map boss. You'll see how I one-shot it easily with Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm is kind of a tricky skill. You need to practice a lot to find the best timing window. It is a little frustrating. I haven't played it for a long time, so you'll see in the end of the video when I was killing Xesht. It took a couple tries to get it right. And if you only just land it one time, you can one-shot any map boss. It's very strong. And for weapon 2 passives, you wanna take as many crit chance, crit damage nods as possible, and they together with the low life nods from Deepest Tower will boost up the damage by a lot. For Pinnacle boss, you kind of need the frost wall to help you kill it, because the frost wall and Gathering Storm makes a really good combo. Gathering Storm is going to break and shatter the frost wall, and the frost wall has like many layers of it, and it's gonna explode and trigger those shockwaves. A lot of shockwaves. I saw this Gathering Storm against Pinnacle boss technique from Aste. Aste has a very strong invoker, mainly with Flicker Strike, I think, and he used Gathering Storm to kill the boss. He made the video a while ago, I think, a couple weeks ago. You have to find it. But I learned that technique from him. Yeah, if you time it right and you have the right weapon and skills, you can one-shot Xesht, T4 Xesht. For me, it took a couple rounds to take down C4 Xesht. 1, because I don't have the best gear, and 2, my passives are not focusing on critical. Most of them are for mapping, so they're heavily based on strength and area attack damage, just the normal thing for Titan. I only have like 50% critical chance for Gathering Storm and 200 critical bonus damage. It's not maxed out, but it's enough to kill T4 Xesht if you time it right. And I did it with a bad quarterstaff. So imagine what you can do with a good one. So yeah, I just want to share this with you guys real quick. Of course, I would say Kautarek is still working on his his building guide. I don't know what he would come up with, but I think it'll be amazing as well. If you like Thorn style, yeah, you're gonna want to give it a shot. For me, I think I had a lot of passive aggressive fun with the Wing Dancer build. Thorn is just not as strong. Okay, now here this is the map boss. I think the first one is the Shattering Palm damage. I didn't even use the Gathering Storm yet, though. And here we go, one shot. This is one shot without the ice wall, the frost wall, and it's enough. The damage is enough to one shot the boss if you time it right. It's actually not that hard. You just practice a few times, you'll find the perfect timing window. I think it's like 1.5 seconds or something like that. Yeah, try a few times, find the rhythm, and remember that rhythm. Practice a bit, and it's not hard. And even if you fail, you just try it again. But I do have to remind you that I socketed Ambrosia in Gathering Storm for the damage. So you only have 5 shots to make it right. After 5 shots, your mana flask will be empty, and you won't apply the extra Ambrosia bonus. So yeah, I suggest if you want to use Gathering Storm against Pinnacle bosses, practice, find the right rhythm, and try to make it right within 5 hits. For map bosses, you only need to land 1 hit, and you don't need Frost Wall. For Pinnacle bosses, you need to practice a bit more with landing the Frost Wall and timing the Gathering Storm. Also, I play with a controller, so it's gonna be a little hard to place the Frost Wall and Gathering Storm, but direction, the attack direction. But if you're playing with mouse, the bossing part will be easier. So this is the T4 Xesht. I wasn't going to record this part because I wasn't expecting I'd made it to the end. I had a little suspicion to the damage. I was like, oh, I might not even have the damage to make to the boss. But it's surprisingly, it's pretty good. And remember, I did this without the, is it an Azix amulet? The amulet allows you to ignore enemies' elemental resistance on critical hits. I don't wear that. I use a regular amulet with +3 melee skills. Because that one also provides a ton of attributes you need. So you can see here, even without the elemental penetration or curse, the damage is pretty decent still, because that's just how strong Gathering Storm or Shattering Palm is. I socketed Voltaic Mark in Cast on Freeze. Also socket in Innervate and Ice Bite with it. So the Innervate and Ice Bite, they pop constantly. That's why the AoE damage, the clearing damage is really good, with a little help from the Fire Herald. Okay, here we go. And remember to put execute from Shattering Palm to Gathering Storm to maximize your low life damage. And because I don't have to use Thorn, those passive skills, I get to use it to pop my defense, armor and life. So even if I make a mistake, I get to try it again. The Xesht won't kill me. First one failed, too far. Our second one kind of landed, but I don't think the Frost Wall really worked. And of course he went away. See, that hit. If I only had 3k HP, I'd be dead. The other skills are pretty easy. Okay, that one was a good hit, you know.
Oh, I'm out of stars.
All these hits are no big deal. That one, I don't think I timed it right, but the damage is still decent. If I time it right, the damage will be even more. A lot more. Yeah, another fail. It's really clunky if you're not used to Gathering Storm, but if you get it right, all you need is one hit. Ah, too far. I keep forgetting how close that the range is. Yeah, that's a successful one.
So clunky, but I still did it.
Yep.